Somos LatinX Radio Stream, una voz que conecta, une e inspira.
Aquí celebramos tus raíces y te ayudamos a crecer.
Desde historias que inspiran hasta el ritmo que nos mueve.
Siempre contigo, siempre latinos.
LatinX Radio Stream, tu cultura, tu música.
En el corazón de Sarasota County, la Cámara de Comercio nos trae historias inspiradoras y eventos que resaltan el éxito, la innovación y la fuerza de nuestra comunidad. Desde relatos de emprendedores hasta iniciativas que nos unen. Acompáñanos en este viaje de diversidad y éxito. Todo se encuentra aquí, en la voz de los negocios de Sarasota. Solo por LatinX Radio Stream.
Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you might be or whatever time it is for you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Voice of Business Sarasota here at the LatinX radio stream. We have an amazing show planned for you this afternoon with Jeanine Johnson, our special guest, owner of SailorGirl Transportation. And before we get started, we're going to go to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
¿Casas? ¿Oficina? ¿Albercas? ¿Áreas de fiesta? ¿Mudanzas? No importa cuál sea tu necesidad de limpieza, Caribbean Clean tiene la solución perfecta para ti. Te garantizamos que utilizaremos las técnicas y productos más efectivos para dejar tus superficies impecables. Visita nuestra página web en www.caribbeancleaningsrq.com. Déjanos hacer el trabajo duro por ti.
Welcome back to Voice of Business Sarasota, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with the founder and owner of SailorGirl Transportation, Jeanine Johnson. Hi, Jeanine.
Hello, Melanie.
Thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of the business, the Voice of Business Sarasota. Can you just give an introduction and let the people know what it is that SailorGirl does and why SailorGirl?
Well, I am Jeanine Johnson, and I am a native of Sarasota, born and raised. I went to Sarasota High School. Our mascot is a sailor, so I wanted it to resonate with the community that I am a product of the community. So I wanted to name my companies after our mascot. So it is SailorGirl Transport. We are a non-emergency medical transport service, and we are servicing Manatee and Sarasota counties.
Yes, I love it. And so where did the ideal of SailorGirl Transport come into play for you?
Well, I was an admissions nurse for a large skilled facility, and I was having a problem getting patients out of the hospital and admitted into my skilled rehab beds. We had a shortage of non-emergency transport companies. Mm-hmm. So therefore, I took it upon myself. I saved my money and I formed SailorGirl Transport in September of 2019.
Wow. So you saw a need and took the steps to create something to fill that need.
Yes, I did.
Yes, ma'am. And so what was that planning process during the time of creating SailorGirl? Like you said, you saved your money. What other steps did you do to create a thriving business?
Yes. So one of the first things that I did was I did shadow with what would have been one of my competitors. At the time, they allowed me to shadow with them for a few days to make sure that it's something that I wanted to do. Once I did that, I did reach out to SCORE, and I was paired with a mentor. Shout out to Scott Carpenter with SBDC. So Scott really mentored me and helped me develop my business plan and move forward with some marketing ideas as well.
Wow. So just making that connection and shadowing, because you had not worked in transportation.
Correct.
So it allowed you the opportunity to see how the business was run.
Absolutely.
Wow. I love that. And as you've grown Sailor Girl and it's become multifaceted, tell us about some of the other businesses you've created out of just that one.
Well, yes, the transport company really opened the door into two other businesses. So we also have Sailor Girl Medical Staffing, which is a workforce labor for medical facilities. And then there is Sailor Girl Healthcare. We also do in-home private care, wherever your home is. So that's whether you're in a skilled care environment, an assisted living, or if you're in your own single family home.
Yeah.
We provide in-home care services.
Now, do you, as a nurse and someone in the health field, do you find that your clients are more comfortable at home a lot of times, or are they, how does that work for them?
People are always more comfortable in their home environment, surrounded by their own things and personal artifacts. They really don't necessarily want to have to go to a facility unless their care exceeds the capacity in their private homes. Then, they'll either downsize to a skilled facility or even as an assisted living facility if that's what's warranted.
For them. Wow. Okay. And so you mentioned SCORE and the SBDC. Two are great organizations that provide mentorship and guidance. What are some of the key takeaways you learned through those interactions?
To have a business plan.
Ooh.
Definitely. And it is important that, just because you build it doesn't mean that they will come. So it is imperative that you do plan and budget for marketing, being very accessible and marketing or co-marketing with other entities, putting yourself out there at events and making yourself known, and also just not being afraid to ask for the business. You do have to ask. Just because people know what you do doesn't mean that they're going to just come to you when there's a need. You definitely still have to always ask for business.
Yeah, that's a very important thing that you solicit that.
Absolutely.
And you have grown. When you started Sailor Girls, Sailor Girl Transport, how many employees did you have at the time?
One. Just one.
Just one.
Just one. And so with that being said, we've come a long way, and I'm very excited about where we're going. Working with SCORE and subsequently developing a relationship with Sarasota Chamber of Commerce. It is important to grow, but it's important to scale your business realistically and safely, and maybe even conservatively. I would say that I am more on the conservative side. You definitely don't want to have any mishaps.
Yeah.
So you want to definitely make sure that you are growing at a pace that you can maintain.
And how has the chamber been able to promote or provide opportunities for Sailor Girl Transport?
Well, the first time I went to a chamber event was at the Aura, and that is a beautiful facility.
Yes.
The second time I went to a chamber event, our president, Heather Caston, called me by name. And that was overwhelming for me. I was like, oh my God, she knows who I am. So I knew I arrived when Heather knew who I was and called me by my name. But the partnership is exactly, what I just mentioned. The nurturing that I get, the different programs, just so many different programs to really promote business. I really feel as though I belong. The OFA program helped me because where I was deficient in my accounting, I was able to secure a grant. And with that grant, I was able to secure a certified public accountant so that our finances could be in order so that I can go to the SBA and ask for a loan. So you have no idea, the gratitude and how excited I was that I was a recipient of the OFA grant.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a pleasure working with you
Yes,
and
ma'am.
getting to know more about Sailor Girl. And there's one thing throughout our relationship, you are very much a business orientated person, but you do customer service flawless.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
That is an excellent compliment. Um, Basically, I am a self-proclaimed ambassador to Sarasota. I am born and raised here. I do attend Bayside, and my pastor always says, "Don't mess it up. Welcome to Sarasota. Don't mess it up." So the door is always open because we can't close the door as more people move here.
Yeah.
But because I am born and raised here, I feel it is my duty to take care of the citizens of the Sarasota and Manatee community. So yeah, we go the extra mile and we provide some services that maybe some other companies either don't want to or they overlook. So yes, we take pride in customer service and really going the distance above and beyond for our clientele.
Yes, ma'am. Now, you shared with me an experience you had during our last hurricane of 2024. Just share a little bit with our audience on what happened and how you were able to pivot during that time.
So we definitely were doing, Sailor Girl Transport was doing evacuations for the hurricane. And we had stopped the day before the hurricane was to arrive. With my private in-home care service, I had a client that we were providing 24-hour care for. And it just so happens they were getting ready to close the airports and her daughters needed to go back home. So with that being said, I had to use my transport van and my stretcher. I went and got this client of mine who was at near end of life, and I brought her to my house because there was nobody else in the 25th hour to go and care for her. So I brought her home to my house, in which she did expire at about 9:30 that evening. The weather wasn't that bad, so the mortuary company was able to come and transport her to their facility. The daughters were just overjoyed. It's just the gratitude that they showed me for what I had done for them. And then subsequently, a few months later, when they had her celebration of life, I was not able to attend, but I did have one of my staff members attend her celebration of life. And again, they reiterated that they were very glad that we were there to represent the company and to say our final farewell to their mother. So that's what we're known for. You know, we support the client as well as the family in every way that we can.
Yeah, and that's so important, especially during the hurricane. It's the end of life. There are issues upon issues, people trying to evacuate, get back home. But I believe you probably gave them such peace.
Yes.
During that time.
Absolutely. That's the right phrase. Yes. You know, they definitely, you know, verbalized gratitude, but the fact that I could give them peace knowing that their mother was in good hands. And by the way, I just want to say I am a nurse. So, you know, I was able to give them peace. So, you know, again, the Sailor Girl Healthcare, we do specialize in 24-hour care and end of life. And as a matter of fact, just last weekend, I had to work overnights to help someone because their loved one began to transition and the family did not know what to do or how to do it. So I stepped in and I did it myself.
You did it yourself.
I did it myself.
Wow. So you're not only transporting, but you're being of comfort. You're providing peace.
Yes.
You're also relieving the family a lot of times as they're going through this.
Yes.
And as Sailor Girl has grown, were those moments that you were like, okay, there's a need for more skilled nurses. There's a need for people to be nurses, to be with clients.
Yes.
And you just created it and you started it.
Yes. Well, basically during COVID, you have facilities who had staff and their staff, they were terrified. They did not want to enter the COVID units. So they would contract with SailorGirl and we would go and do the work. We were glad to do the work. I would purchase all the equipment that was necessary to keep my staff safe. So, we stepped up during COVID and we did take care of the Sarasota and Manatee County. At one point in time, I was doing COVID transports myself and I was burning the candle at both ends. My blood pressure was like 190 over 110. So I definitely had to say, listen, I have to take the weekend off and I have to take care of myself so that I can be of service, to continue to be of service to the community. So we were very proud of that. Also during COVID, SailorGirl Transport provided necessary transports for our special needs community. So we did transport to the Haven proudly for about a year and a half.
Wow.
And we also provided transport to Town Square at one point in time. That is our community for our citizens with some cognitive deficits. We provided that transport to the location in South Sarasota as well as University Park. So, and I do sit on the task force for the Dementia Care and Cure Initiative. So we pride ourselves in educating the public and public businesses on how to care for our citizens with dementia.
Yeah, because it can be a debilitating disease.
Absolutely.
To watch a loved one go from this strong, smart person to not remembering
absolutely
how to breathe.
Yes,
the simple things.
Yes. Yes.
That they go through.
Absolutely.
It is such a blessing to have someone like you in the healthcare field.
Oh, well, thank you.
During these crazy times now, because they will put spotlights on different issues that happen, but never on those people that are out there serving with love, serving with kindness and compassion, as well as growing a business.
Yes.
What is a tip that you give to someone who's looking to start their own healthcare company, whether it's in transport or skilled nursing? What is something you would tell them to do?
I would definitely tell them to reach out to the Sarasota Chamber of Commerce. I would definitely tell them to reach out to the SBDC or SCORE, so that they can have a mentor to help them and hold their hand during the process. There's a lot that you know, but there's some things that you don't know, and you definitely want to set yourself up for success and not failure. Don't let anybody tell you no. It's going to be hard. There's definitely going to be obstacles and hiccups, but it's how you respond. Just go and do your research and keep moving forward.
Yeah. Do your research and
keep moving forward. Yes.
Yeah. Because as you grow and you do that research, you realize, okay, I didn't know this.
Yes.
But then that leads to another question.
Absolutely.
And from that question, you get with your mentor,
yes.
You work it out in your head, you look for the answer.
Yes.
And then once you find that answer, another question will develop from there.
Absolutely.
And so it is a constant learning.
It is.
Yeah.
You have to really pay attention to the trends and pay attention to the needs of the community. One thing about it is you can always reach out to me and I will guide you as best I can. And that's for businesses as well as individuals. I do have clients and they call me, hey, I have a question. I don't need services from you right now, but can you answer this for me? And trust me, by the time they hang up the phone, they're taking notes because I'm giving them all kinds of information. I know how insurance works. I know how skilled nursing works. I know how hospitals work. So I definitely arm the community with as much information as possible. In SailorGirl, we don't gatekeep any information that I have. I'll be more than happy to share with you. And I also take pride in the fact that I collaborate with other companies. I can't do everything myself. And I would never tell a lie that I can do everything myself. We are happy to collaborate with other companies to get the job done.
Yeah, because it's all about our clients and
Absolutely.
Our customers.
Absolutely.
And you said something earlier that really stood out to me. When you were burning the candle at both ends and needed to take a weekend, just one weekend to yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
As as an entrepreneur, I understand the need to take that weekend, but also the reluctance.
Yes.
What was that moment for you? Was it just, I'm just too tired, I can't do it? Or were you like, I can't do this to myself, I need to be better?
With that blood pressure, I didn't have a choice.
No.
I need to be around to employ people to provide the services. So I need to be around. And, I know that nurses, we're the worst at taking care of ourselves, but I can't tell you to do better if I'm not going to do better. So I have to set the example. Basically, during COVID, they would call, all times of the day and night, and we just got up and did it. So with that being said, I did have to pause, and, everyone was respectful. They didn't call me, and because they know, hey, if she can do it, she would do it. Mm-hmm. So if she's asking for time off, it's because she absolutely needs it. I'm not hiding from you. So self-care is absolutely the best. And that's physically, medically, mentally. You definitely have to take care of yourself. And, but with that being said, I won't say that it's not hard work. And sometimes you do have to sacrifice and give up some of your personal time, but it won't always be like that. You'll have to do that in the beginning, but then there'll be a day where, you will have an excellent team around you to help you so that you will be able to enjoy your time off.
Yeah. And that is so important.
Yes, ma'am.
That is so. You're going to work hard as an entrepreneur. You're going to have a lot of questions. You are going to first you see a need to start. Then it's important to get that mentorship, to find out those things that you don't know. And as you grow, you're going to come into more questions. You're going to find answers. You're going to have more questions. But that's where networking comes
in.
Absolutely. Being a part, going to workshops and seminars and just different events. And my biggest takeaway from the day, and I always learn so much whenever we have a conversation, is you have to sell.
Yes.
Even though people know what you do, you still have to sell it.
You have to sell yourself, and you have to ask for the business, and you absolutely have to go around and network. And so that's what I mean by attending events and even sponsoring events, because if you're asking someone for something, but you're not willing to be reciprocal and, help them. So you always have to keep that in mind. If you want someone to sponsor something for you, then you also have to turn around and be willing to sponsor for them, whether it's time and or a financial contribution. So networking, Sarasota is not a big place. It's a very small medical society. Pretty much we all know the players. So, play well in the sandbox with everyone and, be willing to collaborate. So it's for the better of our community.
Yeah, I love it, Jeanine.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how can people get in touch with you for more information?
Yes, absolutely. You can go to my website at www.SailorGirlServices.com, and that houses all three of my businesses. You can also call direct at 941-867-7091. Again, that number is 941-867-7091.
Well, thank you so much, Jeanine, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's wonderful.
Are there any shout outs that you'd like to give?
Yes, I always like to shout out Melanie Lavender. She's a huge supporter. So, if you get with Melanie, she's your biggest cheerleader. Also, Giovanni Humphrey with Gorilla Apps one time.
Hey, Giovanni.
My Sarasota Chamber of Commerce sisters, Shanice Lee, Michelle Olivo, and of course, Miss Judith Williams.
Yes, ma'am. Michelle and Shanice are up for our Minority Small Business Award this year.
Absolutely.
And so we are so excited to celebrate with them.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a great event, a great day, full of opportunities to connect and support each other.
Absolutely. And they're also my OFA recipient sisters as
Yes.
well. So very excited for them. Hopefully I'll be sitting in their shoes in the next couple of years.
Yes, ma'am.
Very excited.
I see that happening.
Oh, well.
I see that
God willing.
happening.
Absolutely.
God is good.
All the time.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank you all so much for joining us on The Voice of Business Sarasota. I am your host, Melanie Lavender, and I cannot wait to see you all again and get in with our next conversation with entrepreneurs here in the Sarasota Manatee area. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.